Pro Boxing fans here with Johnny Nelson. I do want to talk about is Tyson Fury. It's probably in jest, but he announced his retirement. Now it's hearing that there might be crossover fights. There's loads of stuff going on. We know that John Fury came out with a video yesterday saying him and Tyson are having trouble getting into the US. If that is the case, we don't know what the background is. I don't want to assume because there isn't any pure facts at this present time. But if he is having problems, do you think that can affect his career in any way?
No. The US isn't the only place where boxing is in the world. You know, there's the whole of Europe, there's Saudi Arabia, there's Africa, there's everywhere. You know, so that's the US. You know, US is not the capital of boxing. Number one. Number two, Tyson Fury. The one thing we've all been used to hearing from Tyson Fury is, I'm a fighting man. I'm a fighter, that's what I do. So for him to say I'm done, it'd be like me to say, you know what, don't breathe today. You know, that's who he is, that's his DNA, that's his family's DNA. That's what they do. So when he's saying I'm done, today he might be done and really believe he's done today. But tomorrow, might be a different story. Do I believe he's done? No, I don't believe he's done. Does he believe he's done? Yes, he does believe he's done. But most people that speak to Tyson Fury don't believe he's done. You know, so no matter how much he sells it to you, I'm done, I'm out, this, and the other. But if you give me half a bill, I'm back in the mix again. That's not a man that's done. You understand? So I understand where he's at, I understand what he's saying, that's just his call. But you know what? And I get where he's at. He's made so much money for himself, his family, his grandkids and their kids. You know, he's done that. So now this man wants to do what he does naturally, which is be a fighting man. So right now, he's just thinking, well, what is there out there for me? I actually think, you know, and he's proved, and that's why I got to humble myself and say, you know what, this guy's the best fighter in the world. And he's proved it. So unless someone proves otherwise, he ain't got nothing to prove. So then the question after this, would he be Alexander Usyk? Would he beat XYZ? That's not fair, because he's beat everybody put in front of him. And so if he decides to fight on, then let's have that conversation.
Do you want to talk about another Fury, Tommy Fury, Jake Paul? Looks like it's done. They both signed contracts from what I'm hearing, from what Tommy Fury just announced on Instagram. But I want to talk to you about how boxing changed in your time. Back in the day, you know, you used to go through all your amateur routes, go through that route. Now you've got Jake Paul, was well known before he came into boxing. Decent boxer, you know, he's putting in the shift, he's putting in the graft to become a boxer and do his thing. But what do you make of his inclusion into the sport as a promoter and a fighter?
Okay, I think what pisses people off with Jake Paul is the fact that he's getting the adulation, the attention of a world champion. And that's because he has sold himself like everybody knows who he is. He's got that YouTube background, he's got that fan base already. So yeah, old school fighters that have been doing it since 4 years old thinking, what the? I can't respect that man. But you know what, the kid can fight. He can fight. And so he might be a novice at this point, but he's getting world championship attention. So of course there's going to be some resentment and bitterness from fighters that have done it all their life. But the kid can fight. Out of all the YouTubers there, he's the best out of a lot of them. And so now you've got to, don't dismiss the fight. Yeah, he's a YouTuber, he's from this background. The kid is learning to fight, he's a novice. Tommy Fury is in a great position to earn $2 million at this stage in your fight, in your career. So if Jake Paul is able to generate that kind of money for fighters, he's doing a great job. So it's not for me to disrespect his boxing ability. He's a novice coming through. You know, would he be able to get in there with, like, I don't know, a Tony Bellew and do that shit? No. Would he be able to get in there and do that with something like a Tommy Fury? Maybe. You know, so it's easy to slag him off, but give respect where respect's due. The guy's a novice, he's coming through and he's getting world-class attention and world-class money. I ain't got a problem with that. You know, I'm on the fighter's side. I like hearing fighters make money. That to me is important.
How do you see that one playing out? We know Tommy's the well-known boxer, coming from a boxing family, been boxing since he was very young. People are still and ahhing. Is there a reason to and ah on that fight?
As long as people are and ahhing and talking about it, they both win already. Regardless win or lose, we know who they are. How many fighters with so little fights have got so much notoriety? Unless you're a former Olympian that just turned pro, like a Lomachenko fighting for a world title in your little second fight, no fighters at this stage in their career have got this kind of attention and in this kind of money. So both fighters have won so far. A loss means jack shit. All right, a bit of pride hurts, and that's it. Don't mean Jack Diddley.